Welcome back to Strange Bedfellows. I'm Kirt Graves.
And I'm Stefanie Jochman-Deepak. Today we are discussing the third episode of the 2012 miniseries, Titanic.
And this is where we start to hear the Titanic music and we see the names floating in the water.
Yes.
Not a memorable theme on this one because I couldn't even hum it in my head right now if I wanted to.
No, I mean, I was just supplying and then stopped myself for copyright reasons. The music from Titanic, the movie.
Right?
Really, it's just like a very brief instrumental theme.
Yes.
And then instead of cutting to people we know, suddenly it's Winston Churchill.
Yes. What the hell?
Indeed. That is also what I said to myself.
What the hell is going on here?
Good question.
We're not on the boat. It's long before the boat ever leaves. What's going on? And of course, the reason we're seeing Winston Churchill is that he is investigating some terrorist action.
Yes.
And who do we see walking away from it?
Peter
Hot guy
Pietro.
that the Irish lady's interested in.
The mysterious Russian.
Yes. He has a name.
Yeah. I have Peter. He's the notorious Peter the police killer. Peter Pietkov.
Nice.
Yeah. But boards the Titanic as Peter Lubov.
Yes.
And I don't think we're dealing with like Russian patronymic naming traditions that he would have two different names. Instead, he's covering up who he actually is because he is a wanted man.
Yes. Yeah. First of all, I would like to say I watched both of these episodes back to back.
Okay.
So strong chance I might at some point mix up what happens in this one and what happens in the next one because we are bouncing around in chronological order and some things that happen in this episode come back in the fourth episode. Other storylines are like pretty much wrapped up in this episode. Yes. So I'm just warning everybody. I'm going to get stuff wrong.
And that's
certainly
okay. That's okay because they have spliced and diced this storyline so terribly. Can I jump in here with my little bit of outside research?
Please do.
So I got fed up enough with this bananas organization that I searched. I was wondering, like, what were the reviews like when this first aired? Like, how was this received, particularly in the UK? And I found a piece from The Guardian that reported on the fact that, like, it received high ratings in the first episode and then it dropped off. And the producer, Nigel Stafford Clark, said it was his idea to have a narrative moving back and forth in time as a fresh approach to a well-known story. But he says, I have to accept that people have found it hard to get around. In that sense, I am responsible.
Yeah. All right. Well,
so it's nice that we can to some extent clear blame of our podcast namesake. And say this wasn't a Julian Fellowes thing. I wonder if he wrote this plot line chronologically and then Nigel Stafford Clark got in the editing room.
Did this just happen in the edit? That would be interesting to find out. Maybe someday we'll get to ask him.
Yes.
Because it suffers from a bit of like bouncing back and forth and hard to keep track of it and hard to care.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what reviewers said is this is so chopped up and jumps around so much and it's so short that we have no opportunity to be invested in any of these characters.
No. Well, speaking of people we're not totally invested in, so we get the little bit of backstory on Peter. Then we jump to the Sandrini brothers making their way onto the ship through deceit.
Yes.
Turns out Mario gets one of the waiters drunk, one of the stewards drunk, so that he can't make it to the ship. And he's like, oh, my brother here happens to be a steward. And so that's how Paolo gets on the ship, and it's how he ends up serving in first class. So at least we get a little bit of backstory on how that came to be.
And this episode now we get more with Sandrini and Jenna Coleman's second class maid character. She fixes his coat. They have these sweet exchanges. By the end of the episode, he has asked her to marry him.
Yep. Okay, now can I say this? of all the storylines that I don't care about, this is the one I don't care about the least. I fear it has to do with handsomeness. That maybe I don't care about the character. I just think he's a really handsome actor, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm in it. I'm in it. Yes, like Jenna, say yes.
Yeah,
he's so pretty.
Well, and Jenna Coleman really sells it. Like she's so good at bringing something to nothing, really. Like making us care about this woman whose characteristics are, I'm plucky, I know things, and I'm kind.
Yeah.
You know, so my reaction is Sandrini asked Jenna Coleman to marry him. What? And yet you're still a little enchanted with it.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, as we learned by watching all of the things we have watched, there was a time when marriage was not very romantic.
Right.
And so even this little touch of romance, like two people actually liking each other and being attracted to each other, and like the only way to possibly express that is through marriage. It's like, okay, it's not bad. I mean, it's better than like your parents deciding that you should marry the guy down the street, which also happened.
Yeah. And, they're both headed to the States. They could start a new life. You know, there's lots of possibility there.
Right. Yeah. So I was a little bit into this storyline, but again, I'm probably biased just because he's a handsome guy. Okay. Then we get into a storyline I truly do not care about at all, which is the Mabel Watson of it all.
Oh my gosh.
The maid who stole the brooch and like is having a panic attack in the hallway. And it's like, you are terrible at subterfuge, lady. Like you are basically cracking without anyone, like somebody's like, how are you? And she just falls apart.
Her character note is, look like you're about to throw up anytime you're on screen.
Yes, exactly. So we get a touch of backstory here, which is really literally just her telling us something, like that her father has fallen on hard times or he's ill or something. I don't know. He needs money. And she's like, I'm the only one who can support him. And the only way to do that was to steal from my employer, which is when she admits that she took this brooch that her mistress never wears. And she doesn't think she's ever even going to notice. But just in case, she is going to create an elaborate backstory / alibi / scapegoat so that somebody else can be blamed. And she does that by bringing the jewelry box down into steerage and is like, is anybody a locksmith? Peter Lubov steps forward and is like, I can help you.
Yeah.
Finds out there's absolutely nothing wrong with the box at all.
Yeah.
Keeps the bobby pin that she gives him, which will become important later.
I cannot wait to talk about the way this becomes like a computer game where you hunt the objects.
Yes. And like her whole plan, which she immediately confesses to that other dude.
Yes.
Whose name I don't remember.
The Manton's butler.
The Manton's butler, whatever his name is. Immediately confesses to is that she's like, well, I figured if somebody saw this other guy touching the box, I could realistically say that he took it. And the butler's like, here's 12 ways that plan doesn't work.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, no, because like she wouldn't even notice it's gone until we're off the ship. So like I could, say that I took it down to steerage and other people could corroborate that this guy touched it, but there would be no consequences for him. And he's like, not how this works.
Yeah.
Where's the brooch?
Our last episode, we posited the idea that if we had a lifeboat, like which characters were we going to save?
Yeah.
Surprisingly, the butler, who wrecked a book in the first episode, might make
you
it
think
onto
he's
my
redeeming
lifeboat.
himself here?
He is, just in his sensibility and his willingness to call her out for like trying to frame, to their knowledge, an innocent man.
Right.
Right? He makes it in the lifeboat. She absolutely does not.
No. Which is sad because I think she does actually make it into one of the other lifeboats.
She does. And honestly, she's doing all of this for very good reasons. But I think she's just so frustrating that, nope, you're out of there, lady.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Not necessary.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, so we have the maid and the valet, and then so we are given maybe a little bit more between Mrs. Maloney and Lubov/Pietkov, where we get to hear what he says to her in the church. I should have written it down and I did not. But I feel like it's
like, don't be afraid of your feelings.
That's it. And I feel like, so is it just like she has this? Did I miss anything more other than she just thought he was hot and let him kiss her?
At this point, it's still a question mark, I think.
Yeah.
We're still left to wonder, like, is there some past here that we don't know about? And I think in the final episode, they make it more clear, and this is not a spoiler in any way, shape, or form, just to say that, like, they don't.
Yeah.
He just says, from the moment you saw me, I knew that, like, you were attracted to me. And the moment I saw you, it was like, and it was pure, just like, I don't know, I guess like animal instinct that they were drawn to each other. And so she lets him kiss her.
Yeah.
Out on the deck of the boat where anybody could be walking by.
Including her husband.
Who does show up and, you know, administers a punch to the face.
Yeah.
To this, it turns out, hardened criminal/murderer. It's like, ooh, buddy, are you picking a fight with the wrong person?
Yeah. Although Lubov demonstrates a great deal of restraint, you know, but draws the line at beating up the man whose wife he takes an interest in.
Strangely, he does seem to have a really clear sense of right and wrong, and like acknowledges that, like, I am in the wrong here. I got punched in the face. All right.
Yeah. It's a weird moral code this guy has.
He does wrong, but he at least acknowledges when he's doing it. Yes. It's not enough to make him stop.
Yeah.
He's just going to do it and, you know, accept the consequences later.
Yeah.
I would love to know so much more about his backstory, though, because it's like, what was his motivation for killing those police? Like, he doesn't seem like he's insane. There does seem like there's a little bit of talk between him and Peter about, like, he tried to make change happen and it just wasn't happening in Europe, so he's leaving Europe and hoping to be somewhere where change can happen. It's like, what was all of this?
Is he a revolutionary, maybe? Like, are we seeing like an early... Yeah, I don't know.
And I'm sure, like, we could go look it up and see, like, was this an actual historical thing that happened? Like, was there a Peter the painter, a Peter the police killer, and, like, find out what all of that was? I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to have to do homework with my television viewing, especially when it's supposed to be a story about the Titanic.
Well, and the show has an opportunity to at least initiate that homework for us, like give us some clues. And again, this is kind of looking ahead, but the show has the opportunity to fill in some gaps or provide us with like next steps for learning more in an epilogue of sorts. And it doesn't.
Yeah.
And there just is not enough in the show to provide direction for where do you go.
Yeah.
Maybe our Americanness is coming out now.
I guess. Yeah.
But we are two people who are willing to do the homework. Like,
I agree.
And we have the receipts on this.
But like, right, we're doing a whole friggin' podcast. So like, we're willing to do the work.
Yes.
And we have looked things up. But this is just one thing where it's like, but I need more.
Yeah.
In order to care. I need more. And again, maybe it hit the cutting room floor. Maybe this was more developed in the writing.
Yeah. A part of me is like, did Nigel Stafford Clark go, yeah, it's like, name that tune. I can do this story in 4 episodes.
Yeah.
And then they got halfway through and he's like, oh no. I really needed 8.
Yeah. Maybe.
Chop.
Yeah.
Well, and then with Peter, with Lubov, Pietkov, etc., there is also this mysterious man wandering about the ship, following him.
Yes.
Is he another criminal? Is he,
Is he flirting? That's what I thought. I was like, this man is flirting. He's like, oh, you're traveling alone? I too am traveling alone. Are we a bunch of confirmed bachelors traveling alone to the new world? It's going to be several days on the ship. Nothing else to do. Should we be confirmed bachelors together? That's what I was getting from this interaction.
To be honest, that is what I picked up from the first. Yeah,
the way he was looking at him and
Yes.
being like, "Are you alone? Are we doing interesting?"
Yeah.
And then the way he was rebuffed in that way, it was like, "Oh, yeah. something was going down." And then it turns out, no, he just recognized him.
Yeah.
He's a former soldier, recognized him, and was like, and by the end of the episode, once they've hit the iceberg again, they've hit the iceberg for the third time, and the water's rushing into the corridors, he confronts him and is like, I know you're a murderer, and I'm not letting you get away. And it's like, dude, the boat is sinking.
Yeah.
Nobody's getting away.
Yeah.
And also, this form of vigilante justice that you're trying to perform really seems anathema to like someone who came from the military.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you are literally on a boat and there are uniformed officers all around you that you could turn to and be like, I think that guy's a terrorist and maybe you should throw him in the brig until he can be questioned by authorities in New York. Would have been a better move for him, because what ends up happening, the hallway confrontation does not go well for him.
No, it does not.
No. And again, we get this little glimpse of like Peter's morality when he's like, basically he's saying, dude, walk away.
Yeah.
Now is not the time, walk away. And he's like, I am not letting you go. And Peter's like, I'm sorry to hear that, because now I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and why is this plotline there? Totally unnecessary.
Right. Is this actor a friend who needed a job?
I mean, and he is like, he's played some really significant roles. Like he was on Outlander not long ago. So this is a, well-known working actor. Why have you slotted him away in this tiny role that could be cut to provide us with more material for the characters we already know?
Yeah. Yeah, because let's talk about how wild it is to introduce a new character in the third of 4 episodes in a miniseries.
Yeah.
One who is only there to be killed.
Yeah. There is no more to say about it. I think the situation itself demonstrates what a poor choice it is.
Yeah. And, again, this is a little bit spoilery for the next episode. We don't even ever really get the resolution of Peter's storyline.
No.
He's one of many characters in this show who we have to assume died.
Yeah.
Because we don't see him surviving. But we don't ever cut back to him, going down with the ship. The last we see of him is doing something completely separate from his storyline in the next episode.
Yep.
A little bit more with Jim. This was really kind of Jim's episode. Peter's episode.
No, Peter is the Russian. Jim is the...
So I feel like this was really like Peter's episode.
Yes.
Because he does... Once the ship is going down, we do see Jim and Mary getting their kids onto a lifeboat, and then one of their kids, a stupid little girl, jumps off the lifeboat and runs away.
She does not get in my lifeboat either.
No. Sorry, kid.
Those Maloney children are wily.
Yeah.
And honestly, I liked the Maloneys, but clearly they have some parenting to practice.
Yes.
Sorry, no, I am not a parent. I should not judge as much. But honestly, if your children don't know to not jump off a lifeboat, not run away, and major, okay. I'm digging myself a hole, and I'm not going to. But
yeah.
I judged Teresa. That's all I want to say.
Oh, for sure, for sure. So she runs off, and then Jim and Peter basically have to team up to try to find her. And we get no resolution this episode on that. Nope. Stay tuned for episode 4. Peter was kind of dipped in throughout this episode a lot.
Yes.
So.
Oh, he's not there yet, but where we end in this episode is back with Paolo. So we're back with the Sandrinis at the end of the episode in what is probably the most harrowing part of this series. And it is a crime that they did not pay more attention to this plot line, that there wasn't more done about just this. So basically the boat staff have locked the Italian waiters who had been hired for this one particular restaurant on the boat. They have locked them into a room in a hallway.
Because they were being hysterical, Stefanie. They might have frightened the ladies. They raised their voices.
Only to keep themselves alive, and because they couldn't speak the language. So they've been locked into a room that is flooding. And included in that room is Paolo's brother, who had worked in the boiler room and had just barely escaped the boiler room. So he is stuck in this locked room with other Italians. Paolo is on the other side of the door, banging on it, trying to get it open as the hallway continues to flood. And that's where the episode ends. The whole story of these men, being hired specifically for a role on the boat, being treated the way that they have, being segregated from the rest of the people who are trying to survive, trying to, find a way to stay alive. There is so much more to unpack there. There's so much more to explore. I'm really interested in who were these men? What kind of life were they, working towards? The whole series could have gone from their perspective, and it would have been really fascinating.
Yeah, I agree. If we had stuck with just the Italians, it could have been a really interesting series. Because the other moment that happened before this that I wanted to talk about was the conversation between the Sandrini brothers about Paolo falling for Annie.
Yeah.
And he acknowledges, I have nothing to offer her. And it's his brother who says, I think you should go for it. He's like, I have nothing to offer her but dreams. And Mario says, then offer her your dreams. It's a beautiful sentiment.
It is.
It's and I think it is one of the reasons why that storyline stuck out to me, and I was like, I kind of dig it.
Yeah. Yeah, in that scene, I feel like that scene gives that relationship a whole lot more reality, foundation, compelling qualities. I think that sort of turned the tide for me from like what, this is ridiculous, to this is kind of sweet. And this was as much a ship of luxury as it was a ship of, a lot of people's dreams.
Yeah. People crossing the Atlantic for the hope of upward mobility in society. Yeah. So I can't say I'm leaving this series entirely unaffected by any of the storylines, because that one got me. It got me a little bit.
Yeah, it does, and I think it builds nicely into the next episode too.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Well, anything else you wanted to say about episode 3?
Not really.
Me neither.
So I think that leads us to our trivia question.
Please, bring it on.
All right. Every episode, one host will challenge the other with a trivia question related to the Julian Fellowes property we're discussing that week. It could be about an actor, the production, the time period in which the story is set. The possibilities are endless. So first, let's take a listen to my answer from last week.
So, Celia Imrie, as Grace Rushton, bemoans the presence of Mrs. Brown on board. We can assume this is a reference to Margaret Brown, an American socialite and philanthropist who survived the sinking of the Titanic. The unsinkable Molly Brown, as she has come to be known, was born in what American city that gained notoriety when it was featured in a 1955 musical?
Oh, this is a good question. I vaguely know this musical. I remember it being like one of the first movie musicals that I watched. What city? Can I get the state?
Sip my tea.
Can I get the state?
I will, but I think it's going to give it away. The state is Missouri.
State is Missouri. Is it St. Louis?
No.
Oh.
It's Hannibal.
Oh.
Hannibal Moe. Shoeless Joe from Hannibal Moe was a lyric in Damn Yankees, which premiered in 1955.
Oh. See, I was thinking about the musical Unsinkable Molly Brown. Yeah.
Nope.
Oh.
Different musical, but she was born in Hannibal, Missouri.
Okay. And Damn Yankees is experiencing a newly imagined revival in
Yes.
DC right now.
Yes. I believe we call them revisals when they do this much work to the book because
Revisals.
which I'm glad we're doing. I'm glad we do this with some musicals. Like some of them needed a little updating, and that's and in order to keep them relevant and allow us to still do them, because some of them were racist AF. We need to rethink them a little bit. So that's exciting. But so Molly Brown, born in Hannibal, Mo.
Ah, thank you. I learned something today. Hometown of Tom Sawyer.
Oh, there you go. So many references in literature to this town. What's up with that? We should maybe look into that.
Yes.
Yes.
Listeners, did you get it right? Follow us on Instagram at Strange Bedfellows. That's Fellows with an ES, where we'll be posting the trivia question and answer each week. This week, I have a trivia question for Kirt.
I'm excited.
Okay. So once again, I've decided an elaborate setup.
Awesome.
All right.
We both have our styles.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. And I love a little context, a little backstory. You're going to learn a little something, right? I'm the teacher.
Who's a teacher? Who's a teacher?
So we know that, that Charles Lightoller, the second officer, is one of my favorite characters on the show.
Yes.
So he's a real person, born in Chorley, Lancashire in 1874. So that's in northern England. And his family ran a cotton spinning mill, which is a typical business of that time period. Northern England, where he was from, and Northern Ireland, where Titanic sets off from, were popular industrial hubs in this period. And Lancaster, one of the most populous cities in Lancashire County, was, for a time, the foremost producer of a particular flooring material, thanks to the manufacturing empire of Lord Ashton, who is sometimes called Lord Lino. What flooring was Lancaster, the city, best known for producing? Well, tune in next episode to find out if Kirt got this right. If you think you know the answer, find this week's question over on Instagram and put your answer in the comments.
This has been another episode of Strange Bedfellows. You've heard our thoughts, and now we want to hear yours.
The best way to get in touch with us is on Instagram. Again, that's at Strange Bedfellows with an ES in Fellows. Or email us at strangebedfellows@gmail.com. You can also find our personal social media links in the show notes.
If you would be so kind, please rate and review the show wherever you are listening to us right now, and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. Thanks for listening.
Ta-ta.